This is Ryan Elliott for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. We're at the JD Next Gen weigh-in ahead of a big night of action at your call tomorrow night with me, Josh Buatsi. Josh, one place to start, just witnessed an altercation between yourself and Andre Stilling. Can you just explain a bit about what just went on there?
Difficult one to say, but I think, do you know what it is? I think they want something to be captured, so they're saying that they're building a fight. But in my eyes, man, I've fought the guy twice. I know what happened, he knows what happened. So they're probably just doing things to build things up. But he was like, don't vacate the belt, don't run. And I said, listen, man, I'll vacate the belt if a big opportunity comes. If it doesn't, then yeah, I'll keep the belt and I'll box the winner out of yourself and Richards. But overall, I'm saying you're wasting energy. You're fighting tomorrow, but you want to come and chat to me. So if I were him, if I were fighting tomorrow, I wouldn't even be thinking about anyone else but my opponent. I'll be reserving my energy, staying cool, staying calm. But this is the approach he wants to take. So I'm easy. Like I'm not even fighting tomorrow. I'll be there watching, but he's got business to handle first.
I was just about to ask you about that. Obviously, he's got a hard fight tomorrow night, Craig Richards. Very, very good domestic fight. Yeah. Do you think it's foolish to be looking beyond Craig Richards and trying to hunt yourself down for a potential fight?
At this stage, I think it's absolutely done because you've got business to handle tomorrow. Like the thing about me is people like to plan who I'm going to fight, but I always say to people, man, my next goal is to win my next fight. And if my next fight is Bob, my next aim is to beat Bob. I'm not looking at Johnny after Bob. Nah, you got to beat Bob first. So for me personally, I'll say, listen, man, concentrate on Richards, get that job done if you can, and then you meet me if that happens. But again, different approaches from different people.
Let's talk about the reason you're actually here, Dwayne Sinclair.
Yeah,
am I right in saying you're going to be in his corner tomorrow night?
I think so. I'm not too sure what's been done about that, but I would like to be, and I hope so. But when I fight, he's in my corner, been my sparring partner since I can remember, since I started boxing. But it goes beyond the ropes. Do you know what I mean? We're actually good friends, so I can't just make reference to boxing. Boxing was the point of contact, but it goes beyond that. So I'll be there supporting him. He's trained well. He's looking good. He's made the weight. He's got a good game opponent tomorrow, so it will be good. But this is what matters. The talking's done. It's always easy to talk. So when the light's shining, that's when we have to fight. That's when we have to perform. So even my little altercation, it means nothing because when the lights are bright and you have to fight, that's what matters and that's when it counts.
Let's talk about Dwayne then. 10-0, I believe he is. We spoke to him yesterday. He spoke very highly of you, of that relationship as well. He said maybe when you were younger he offered you bits of advice and now you've been off travelling the world as an amateur and now doing bits as a professional. It sort of comes full circle and you're helping him out. Talk to me about that relationship and about what fans can expect from Dwayne Sinclair when he starts moving through the levels.
So for me, it's like I joined the gym 15 years old and there were a lot of older guys than myself. So I was thinking, out of the batch, who can I learn from, who gives me the hardest spar? And it was Dwayne from the get-go. So I thought, okay, this guy gives me the hardest spars. I need to learn or see what he's doing. So there's a lot of things I've seen or I've picked up on. I've picked up a bit from what he does and I've added to my game. So again, his style is boxing, got quick hands, good movement. So I'm expecting to see anyways, like good hand speed, good boxing IQ. And if there's an opportunity there when the opponent's hurt, someone to take him out. So I'm as excited as the spectators, to be fair with you. I know I'll be in his corner or he's my mate fighting or whatever, but I'm anticipating this as much as you guys are. So I'm looking forward to him, man. But listen, credit to him. Like I said, as a young guy, when I entered the gym, I was looking for someone who's doing things the right way or who I believed was giving me the hardest spars, and he was the guy. So a lot of things that I've picked up on as a young man entering the gym, learning so quickly, it was because of this guy. So I can't give him enough credit because it is what it is. This is the guy that did everything and taught me most of the things that I know.
It's been a few weeks now since we saw you out in the US. Another stoppage victory. I know by your own admission you would say it wasn't your best performance, but it was a good learning fight for you. Have you had time to look back and reflect?
I've watched it back a few times and I think, again, man, it was just, like I said, he was slippery for the first 2-3 rounds. But when I landed the shot that hurt him, I knew it was time to get him out of there. And someone that's competed at world level, the weight below me was inactive for 2 years. So it says, but I believe this guy's been having fights. The first few rounds I thought, you ain't been inactive, man, you know what you're doing. But listen, most importantly, I got the win. which is what you have to do. And I got it via stoppage. Always impressive, and it was the first time boxing in the States. A good experience. Things that I'm glad that I've learned this early in my career. So if I were to go out there, I know how to adapt to it. I know how to adjust. So overall, it was an okay performance. But most importantly, I got the win, and that's what matters, man.
I think that's what a lot of people were saying, that yes, it only went 4 rounds, and I think it shows how highly you're regarded, that people were saying it wasn't his best showing, even though he got a 4th round stoppage win. But you're in there with someone who certainly knew their way around the ring. Got the win, move on. Rest of the year, what's the plans? Where do you want to go? Is it Andre Sterling? Is it something else? What is it?
What I want to do is, do you know what it is? I want to keep progressing on. So my next fight, I want it to be a bit up. So we keep moving up and up and up. Domestically, these two are fighting for my title. The winner we'll know who's going to win by tomorrow, and then we'll see what decisions made, what dates are available. But hopefully I'll be out, let's say, end of August, September, mid-September. So in a few weeks' time. So for me, training camp will begin literally like 3-4 days. So I'll be on it, man. And if it's these two and I have to defend my title, so be it. If I move on to another step up, so be it. But either way, I'll be ready. I just want to keep progressing on. Also be in entertaining fights. Not entertaining as in, Buatsi's getting hit, he's doing this. Nah, man, I'm there to make sure I'm the dominant fighter and that I'm winning and dominating every second, every step of the way, man.
One fight I did want to ask you thoughts on. We thought it was going to be happening in Russia in late June. Sergei Kovalev against Anthony Yarde. It's been pushed back. We now think it'll be happening later in the year. I just wanted your thoughts on that fight.
Hard to say because I'm not keeping tabs on it, man. If I'm honest with you, I thought the tab I kept was, okay, it's gonna be somewhere in June. Since it's been changed, since it hasn't happened with the date that I thought, I've lost track, man. I've been handling business. I'm sure he's handling business too. I don't know when it's gonna happen. I can't really say much about it because I don't really know too much about it. But whether it's still happening or not, I don't know, man. If it happens, I'll be watching anyways. And like I've almost said, man, I wish Yarde all the best if he fights Kovalev. So be it.
Rather than when it's happening, let's talk about that fight stylistically, just to finish on that. Hard fight by all means, but we always talk about the timing in boxing, especially with matchmaking. Do you think it could be the right time for Anthony Yarde to get in there with Kovalev? People seem to think he's slightly over the hill, but from his last show, and there also appears to be a lot left in the tank there.
I think it's quite hard to say because you never know till you get in there, till that bell rings. So, but you have to make that step, you have to take that jump. So, but again, you never know, man. Is it the right time? I don't know, man. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know what goes on in their camp. I don't know how they see him progressing on or what they see in Kovalev. I haven't been watching Kovalev myself to be like, yeah, he's dipping. Like, it's mad because I just solely concentrate on myself. I concentrate on myself so much. Like, all I care about is what I'm doing, when I'm doing things, how I'm doing things, how I can improve. That's literally all I think about. And all my thoughts and all my efforts goes into myself, how I can be the better fighter, the better boxer, whatever you want to call it. So it's hard to speak about other people and how they're doing. I can talk about Hot Shot because he's in my training camps most of the time, but besides that, it's hard to say how someone else is looking or if they're dipping or if... It's hard for me to say, man.
I think the last time we spoke to you was post-fight and you said to us, yes, I've won this evening, but in a way it feels like I've lost because a good friend of yours, Anthony Joshua, fell short. I'm not going to sit here with you and go through the what went wrongs and the rumours, etc. I think we've covered that more than enough. We know the rematch will be happening November, December time, possibly UK, possibly Madison Square Garden. How confident are you that Anthony's going to come roaring back in the second fight and claim those titles back?
I'm very confident. If the fight happens, that he will win. Listen, man, it's a fight that everyone thought he'd win and he didn't win, but that's okay. Like we said, we've looked at the great heavyweights. They're all not undefeated. They've taken some L's. So it's a fight that I feel he'll bounce back from. Ruiz is a good, dangerous fighter, as we saw. So Josh will make the required adjustments, I believe, and he'll come back and he'll win, man. I'm not going to start singing a different song saying, oh, Ruiz will win, Ruiz will win. Nah, I think Josh beats him. And I even thought that the first time. But credit to Ruiz, hands up, bruv. He came and he did what he had to do. But I believe in a rematch, Josh will capture all the belts back. And hopefully unify with Deontay Wilder left, man.
Is that a card you'd like to get yourself on?
All day, all day. I mean, who wouldn't? Like, mate, I'm smiling thinking about it now. But listen, hopefully it'll fall in line with the dates that I've got, and I'll be ready for that.
Right, Josh Buatsi, I won't keep you any longer. Thank you very much for speaking to Boxing Social.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.